Swiss Tech Anniversary Edition is finally here. This is one I've been waiting on excitedly for a while. A bunch of these new tools have just come out right after another. Very, very cool. Let's dive into this tool. One of the first things I want to mention is that this comes in a huge package. This is maybe over a foot long. It comes with this gift bag as well, for whatever reason. Then you do have this huge package that opens up. I think it's a little bit oversized, to be honest. Once we open up the package, we do have where it talks about the tool itself. Now at the top it is in Chinese and in the bottom it is in English. Then down here at the bottom talks about 1994 to 2024. Also, when we open this up, we have some more timelines, talks about the Swiss Tech company and so forth on the sides. Then we have this package that has several different unique things. Perhaps one of the most, what some people might be interested in the most is a certificate. Now, I didn't really care about the serial number of this. I probably should have tried to specify that I want a lower number, but I got $299 out of 1,994. That's what I got. Here's a certificate that talks about it as well. Now in this bundle, not only is there a certificate, but there is also this sort of specification sheet, except it doesn't specify really that much. It doesn't go over that much. There is also a sort of like an order guide for Swiss Tech tools. Also get included this magazine talking about different tools from Swiss Tech. They do talk a little bit about this anniversary tool, but unfortunately it's in Chinese. You do get a little bit down here, how many grams it is, the weight, talks about 342 grams, the length. They do talk about some of their other tools. Some of them I actually were not aware that they were out there. Most of them I knew already, but there were a couple that I wasn't aware of. Fairly nice catalog. And here we get to the good stuff. This is what we're here for, what is in the package. So now we've got to the package itself, and you see that it comes with three main things. I have taken this foam out. There's just more foam underneath. Now, one of the first things we have is actually a metal plaque. This is fairly heavy, actually. Swiss Tech, again, years 1994 to 2004, talking about the 30th anniversary right here. Then on the back, you have 3M, and they say you can attach this to your car. I don't think I'm going to do that to mine. I'll probably keep it, maybe attach it to a toolbox, or I don't know. I'll find a use for it at some point in time, but I do not plan to attach that to my vehicle. Also, we have a belt sheath. Now, Swiss Tech has come out with these very highly gloss. They have this almost plastic feel. You can see that they're almost thinner than a belt. So these are fairly thin leather sheaths. Again, these feel pretty bad, to be honest. They don't feel near as thick as SOG or Leatherman or even Gerber. You do get leather, such as it is. Then they add this block to, I guess, keep it nice. This is etched to some extent right here, Swiss Tech, 30 years. It looks a little bit crude on the leather. There we go. Then we come to the tool. Now, this tool right here, again, looks so much like the Byberry Surge clone I just bought. Basically, they took most everything from it and they added a couple key differences that will make this different. But I don't really think it's worth $140. That's the price tag that I paid for it. Now, one of you said during the AliExpress sale, you got it for $70. Might be worth $70 for some collectors, but I definitely don't think it's worth the $140, $130 that it's going for at the moment. But we do have some neat things right here. We've got Swiss Tech. Again, we've got all these little evergreen things that do make it different from the Byberry on the handle. It does talk about 30 years right here. So obviously they had to change the handles, etch it a little bit differently. Then we do have these gold colored cutters that distinguish this from other models. Other than that, pretty much the outside of the handles, except Again, saying Swiss Tech and talking about 30 years. Most of the everything else is essentially the same as the Byberry. If you like videos about budget tools and even budget tools that aren't so budget anymore, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. One of the things I just realized is that the Swiss Tech Anniversary Edition does have a little bit of a different tool set. What we have right here is the wire stripper. We've got the can opener. We've got the large flat screwdriver. We've got the awl. Now, all that stays the same. For the first time now, we are seeing a micro bit driver and a surge style clone. Now, we've seen these in the wave clones, but essentially what they've done with this tool is they're almost making this a Leatherman surge charge. That's neat. Now with this one, I assume you get the double-sided. Yes, you get the Phillips, the flat as well. It's unique. Now on the other side, I'm pretty sure this is the same. We've got the ball detent. We've still got that same bit driver, which I'm glad they didn't change that to the Swiss Tech double Phillips. I really like the bit driver, so that's nice. I wanted to mention that this is the Byberry version right here. You can see it has a little bit of a different tool set, but again, the scales look very familiar. Again, it doesn't have any special edition or the Swiss trees in the pattern, but otherwise it's very similar, but it doesn't have that micro bit driver. Is that worth an extra $100? Maybe not. It is a unique edition though. On this side, we've got a couple neat things going on because we've got the serrated blade, we've got the cutting hook. Again, this is the first time we are seeing this in a surge style. Now we've seen this in the wave size, but this is the first time I believe we're seeing it in this surge size. It is also signed by Mrs. Lilly or Ms. Lilly, the owner of Swiss Tech. Now, when I touch this, it's actually raised, so it almost feels like it was painted on, or I don't know how, but it doesn't feel engraved. It feels like if you would use this blade, you could rub it off. On the other side, we do have the scissors. Again, these look pretty standard. I don't know that there's too much more to say about these. These are usually always really good. On this side, we do have the T-shank holder. This comes with the file. Then on this side, we have the diamond file, regular file on the other side. T-shank is always a nice addition to these tools. Now, this doesn't come with any extra parts kit, which is, again, I paid around $140 for it, and you don't even get the scalpel holder or anything. Yeah. That's a bit unfortunate. I wish I'd gotten a little bit more, but I do like the T-shank. Then this is the other big news. We have the Damascus blade. Looks pretty cool. They don't really talk too much about the materials used in this tool. I believe all they say is the hardness is around 55 to 60. But the blade does look pretty nice. So now I'm left with a quandary of what do we think about this tool? Well, on the one hand, I love that some of these companies are trying to offer more exciting things, offer better things, offer upscale things. I always think variety is good. I think that's a good option to have better stuff. I think for a while, people have been really wishing that Leatherman would have done something like this with the garage rather than what they did. Why don't you try to update the Surge? Why don't you try to give better options or more tools or different things? Switch things around with the tools that we love instead of making these almost off-the-wall tools sometimes. I mean, that fixed blade, I think that was really weird from the Leatherman garage. So to some extent, this is Swiss Tech's garage. They ran the wire stripper, a double-headed tool. A lot of people didn't like that. I personally really did like it. I wish I bought a couple more actually. And I'm not super sad that I got this. Actually, it's a little bit better than I thought it would be. I was looking at it and I thought, man, all they've changed is essentially gold-plated wire cutters and maybe a Damascus blade, but they have changed a couple other things as well. We are getting this micro driver, also the cutter on the surge handle. All that is pretty neat. I hope that's coming downstream to some of the new Byberries and so forth. That'd be pretty cool. Some of the other Swiss techs, perhaps. That would be neat, and a less expensive package. All that I think is good news for the multi-tool industry. I think it would be nice to even offer some of these blades as an add-on, add the cutters as an add-on. Instead of adding the whole tool, $140 is a lot to swallow, but if someone wants to maybe spend a little bit extra for some of these extra add-ons, that would be a neat option for people as well. Let me know what you think. I'm glad that I got this tool, but I don't know if I'll really be using it that much because, again, it was a little pricey.